191. You're listening to Conversations with Ron Richardson, live on WBOK and online at WBOK1230.com.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com and also on YouTube. I would like to welcome you guys back for another great episode of Conversations with Ron Richardson right here at WBOK 1230 AM. And I would like to welcome the man of the hour, my longtime brother, Mr. Jerry Smith. Jerry, how are you?
Hello, brother. How you doing? A little pressure on me, man, an hour, though.
Coming to you, Mike, a little bit, my
pressure
brother.
on me with that man at the hour, but I'll take it.
Say that again?
A little pressure on me with that man at the hour, but I'll take it.
Well, you know, you
little
are.
pressure, bro. You know, I'm a 4-shit guy, but there's still a little pressure.
How have you been, man?
Awesome, brother. Awesome. Thank you so much for having me on today. I appreciate you.
All right. Mr. Jerry Smith is here to discuss his book called Rest, Reset, Rise. Entrepreneur, mental health advocate. I added that in there because you talk a lot about mental health and just all around good brother, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
All right. So, and to the right of Mr. Jerry Smith, I have my good brother, Mr. Terrence Prince. How are you, brother?
Doing great, brother. Thank you.
All right, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Terrence Prince.
All right. Add a little bit more, bro. Don't be nervous.
Okay, I am born and raised in New Orleans.
Yes, sir.
Young guy. Like I said, brother of Ronald Richardson.
There you go.
Here to help.
That's all we need, man. And all the way to the end over there, I have my main man, my longtime friend from childhood, man, Mr. Anthony Thomas, COO of Crescent City Addiction and Recovery. My brother, how are you?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. Thanks for having me here
show.
today.
Yeah, man. Good to see you, man. It's been a while. I brought all of these brothers in because not only are we going to talk about Mr. Jerry's book, Rest, Reset, and Rise, but we're going to tie it into mental health and how it works in our everyday life. So, Jerry, I introduce you. I want you to take it away and tell my listening audience who you are and what Rest, Reset, and Rise is all about.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and welcome to everybody to share today. Appreciate you guys being here. So rest is 3 pillar. The book is 3 pillars.
Mm-hmm.
It's rest, and that's what we want to renew. We want to reset, and that's when we want to rethink what we have renewed. And then once we rise to go forward. As I talked to Ron, rest is going to be the catalyst in this whole book. All 12 chapters is going to capture how we rest, why we rest, and abilities to move forward after we capture all of that. So that's pretty much the gist of the book. We're going to talk a little bit more about it in depth here and there, and as we push things around the table today. But once again, thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Man, you know, one of the biggest things that I noticed in your book was how you promote rest. And as you know, I'm a mental health advocate, and I talk about how important it is to just step away and take a break.
Right.
So the first question I want to ask you is, what was your reasoning behind writing this book? What gave you that inspiration?
So I can be here about 3 days, 4 days.
We got a little time.
Saying about why and how that came about. But so for the most part, man, me coming together with the book was about just having time to know that I was producing, right? I'm out there in the world and I'm producing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in that production side, I didn't have peace, right? So producing peace, $1 million seller, doing all the things right, staying late, but no peace. All right. So from there, it was about, getting things done. I was doing that also. I was getting things done, but now I'm exhausted, right? So that's what exhaustion came in. I say, well, you know what? And it was the type of exhaustion that 8 hours of sleep didn't heal.
Mm-hmm.
It was that exhaustion that, you get cranky and things of such. So that's the way, or that's the essence of the book, man. I was just wondering, if everybody's feeling this way, and it would be something to dive into.
Yeah.
And I felt encouraged that it was going to be something that could touch the masses, because we all have the same feelings. We want the same things out of life, and we struggle the same ways. And internet is different these days. Remember, the TV used to go off at a certain time, and all those things have come into the way we rest now.
Right.
And so that was the catalyst, man. Just thinking about my life, where we are today, and how we rest and we rise.
So, how does Mr. Jerry Smith rest? What steps do you take to step away and say, okay, you know what, I had enough for right now?
So I appreciate anybody that can have a hobby, right? You need something to be able to get involved in that's going to take you away from the day to day of the hustle, the bustle, the busyness, and making sure we can we can have a Mercedes and a big house on the hill and things like that. You got to get away from that run, man, because that's what keeps us running behind that carrot. So I'm a golfer, man. I like to get out there and hit that little white ball around, and it brings me to the better part of who I am by doing that. So I suggest that anybody just go out there, get you a good hobby. And the guys tease me all the time about my 9-9. I love my 9-9. So, but Joe, those are the things we have to do, man. We got to shift the way we look at this world that we in. It's chaotic right now, and resting it's a secret word in a way, because people think they hit the pillow, they lay down, they go to sleep.
Right.
But we don't really get the rest we need until we unplug. So you could be asleep and your mind is racing. So until you unplug your mind, your rest is going out the window. And my background is in sleep too, in the sense of I'm a furniture guy. So I sleep on the best mattress in the world, man. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's a Tempur-Pedic.
Okay.
Adjustable base, all that good stuff.
Right.
But if I don't unplug my mind, that's out the window. So at the end of the day, man, we go to the gym, work all these muscles, but your body is not going to heal that for you until you unplug. That's the key to this thing, man.
So by you being a businessman, and we talked about a number of topics before we came on air, when did you realize, your mental health was important? When did you realize your mental health was important?
So I've been married twice, right?
Okay.
So, and I'm a jokester to a certain degree, man. My first marriage, I realized mental health was important, man, because, 3 kids, once again, hustle. And, we can wake up some mornings and we just struggling with each other because we don't understand each other yet. We're young and we're going through a lot of ups and downs, but I'm 30, 29, 30.
Okay.
At that moment. And I'm like, man, this is something has to change with the way we handle each other. Nothing crazy, but just the fact that, we don't know how to argue properly. We don't know how to argue fair. And sometimes you want to get and dig in each other's mental. And we talked about that earlier, man, the space that we hold.
Right.
And that can be the catalyst for why we're not getting the rest and understanding that we need in life. But I was around 30 years old, man, when I figured that out, that, hey, man, we need to do something about the way we look at the mental side of this thing. And we also talked about, Ron, how we, Afro-American community, man, we run away from that opportunity to escape and looking at a mental professional, to talk to about these things, because the mind is a muscle too, that needs to be worked out like we do everything else. So, but I was about 30 years old, man, when I started to realize that we need to do something better about this mental health game.
I tell this story every week on the air. And you and I, Terrence, we were talking about this before we got on air. Grieving. We both shared our stories on how, we grieved, and it took me 9 years to grieve the loss of my grandmother. Because we buried my grandmother. She was laid to rest, and then instantly I'm thrust back into, work and keeping up the hectic schedule that I did have at the time, not realizing that I never really had time to sit down, process it, and just take a breather and just kind of take it easy, So why don't you share your thoughts on that?
So for me, as we had a conversation earlier, lost my mom in 2022.
Right.
And my baby girl was about to turn 1 a month after. And with her death, it was so sudden. She passed away in her sleep.
Right.
My mental was all over because the little boy in me left when she left. So I was trying to fit. Now I'm going into career mode. I'm going into fatherhood, and I don't have my biggest supporter there. So I would say I kind of became angry, and I didn't know how to channel that.
Right.
And it's going on 4 years now, and like I stated earlier, I think 4 years is my mark.
Yeah.
Because now I'm learning to grieve and understand, process, and let go. Not forget, but just let go. Like Brother Jerry said earlier, given certain things that real estate in your mind that'll hold you back. So I'm learning how to do that now.
What steps do you take to start that process, or what steps have you taken that has started that process?
Being honest with myself first.
Right.
That was the biggest issue. I had to acknowledge that I wasn't myself. That old me is gone. It's time to regrow into. I know what I want to be, but that may not be the path that God has for me. So I have to accept where I'm going.
Right. And one of the things that I focus on, throughout my radio show is self accountability. You have to take accountability for your own actions. And there are some things that, as men, we may not want to look in the mirror and face, but you got to have that look in the mirror and say, hey, you know what? I have to fix this. Jerry, what are your thoughts?
No, you just tapped into because I was going to mention Michael Jackson's "Man in the Mirror."
Yeah.
So
perfect segue.
Yeah, that piece, man, is very important. We have a group that we meet every Wednesday at Burns Lounge over there in Slidell, and brothers get together and we talk about things that you don't talk to with the wife, the kids. You bring brother stuff in there, and we have conversations about that, and it becomes real, man. It becomes not no WWF type thing, but it comes to the point where we're going at it pretty good, and it's healthy conversation, and we come back with a lot of good information for each other. So yeah, man, the man in the mirror for sure. If I'm not good, I can't be good for the people around me, right? So that's vital, man, and it's talked about, all the time, and it's the weight of rest, right? That's that first chapter in my book, and so you got to understand when to. Once again, I hate to be redundant, but unplug. You got to know when to walk away. You got to know when to say good things to yourself. We tear ourselves up so much, man. We don't acknowledge that we got to have good conversations with ourselves.
Right.
That we are worthy of, the things that God is blessing us with. We are worthy of this life that we are living. We are worthy. We are worthy. We're beautiful. All those things, man, brings you to a peace that nobody can tear your world apart. So you have to be confident in yourself. I say, God, whatever spiritual being that you have, because I don't want to channel this into, a particular religion.
Right.
I have a Holy Spirit that I look at every day or feel every day that guides me in the direction that I'm going in. But it's all about the man in the mirror, man. It's all about the man in the mirror.
One of the things that we, don't think about because we're living in the age of social media is how social media affects our everyday lives.
Absolutely.
We literally live by our phones. We pick it up and we're scrolling, we're surfing the web, we're on social network and looking at people's posts, and you don't realize how much garbage that you take in and how that can affect you in your everyday life when it comes to raising a family, when it comes to working and different things like that, especially with the current political climate. Now, guys, I'm not a political guy, but there's a lot of garbage out there on both sides, and it separates friendships. It has separated families. So I want to ask you, how do you guys reset yourselves when it comes to social media and all the trash that's out there? And I'm going to kick this one over to Anthony because he's been kind of quiet. Anthony?
So normally, what I tell my clients at our facility and what I do myself is, I tell each person you should give yourself 20 minutes a day just to isolate yourself from the world. Um, a closet. Some people call it a war room. I don't like to get religious or whatever, but I call it my war room.
Right.
And for like 20 minutes, you meditate, you pray. Um, if you don't believe in God, you pray to your higher power, but it slows the world down for you because people don't realize that the world moves fast, and this helps me, and this helps you process what you have to do. This helps you think about what's going on compared to just waking up and just running. So I always tell people to give themselves at least 20 minutes a day
Right.
in isolation, more if possible. But that's normally what I would do.
Terrence?
For me, my war room is my truck.
The truck, all right.
So it takes me about an hour and 10 minutes to get to work,
Yeah.
and I ride in silence.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Within that 20 minutes or that hour and 10, I'm talking to God and I'm asking questions. And by the time I make it to work, I feel like I'm reset. I'm ready for my day. I don't get on social media. I used to. They used to be the first thing you did in the morning. Turn that alarm off.
Yeah.
You sit there for about another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Look at social media, but I didn't want to feed myself that the first thing in the morning. So that was my unplugging from that.
Jerry, how do you unplug?
Chapter 4 talks about that too, man. It's called the spiritual side of stillness, right?
Okay.
So, and once again, it's as my brother said about his truck. That's his place to be still and to energize whatever thought process that he have about being the best of the best for himself and his family, right?
Right.
So, stillness is just listening to that higher power, whatever that relationship is, bringing that into a moment that reflects for you, and stand on that, man. I tell people all the time, you can't worry about the noise around you.
Right.
You're your own individual, and what your spiritual side confess to you or move inside of you with, that's what you run with, man. You run your race the way your race is supposed to be ran, and just don't listen to the noise. Just go down your road, and you're gonna always have an opportunity to be that one. But once again, you have to talk positivity in yourself every day. Every day, man. You wake up. Mary J. Blige had a song about it too. I'm beautiful, man. Those things are laughable to a certain degree, but it's so meaningful.
Right.
If you're not talking this way to yourself, and you're going to get that first person out there in the streets going to say some things to you that you're just like, man, what are you talking about? Now we're ready to go to war.
Right.
But if you know whose you are and who you are, you're good.
Right.
You can walk through anything.
And one of the things that I do to reset is you guys know that I'm a pit bull advocate. I'm an animal advocate. You see many pictures of me and my dog, Queen. I go home and
Queen be waiting. Huh?
yeah, and it's amazing. I talk about her a lot too. My pit bull Queen, and it's amazing how an animal can sense exactly what you're dealing with when it comes to stress. And there have been many times where I've come home from a long day of work, doing whatever, and she's waiting right there, and she's looking at me like, yeah, I know. Just let it all out. And that's my solace, spending time with her. And, some of my friends can tell you, I've turned down many situations, even with us, Terrence, and I'm sharing this with you now, where there have been many opportunities for us to go out. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just chill at home with my pup and everything going to be all right. And, people don't realize the joy that an animal can bring to you because they're very peaceful and they help you get through whatever it is that you're going through. Hit us up, man, 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. Here, Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com. Jared, tell the people where they can get in contact with you.
I have a Facebook. It's Caleria Man, CALERIA Man at yahoo.com. I'm also able to reach at Caleria Man on Instagram, And those are the two outlets you can get in touch with me on. And once again, the book is out there on Amazon, Rest, Reset, Rise, and definitely you can get in touch with me there.
All right.
And I have a school community too, so get the book. The school community is there, and you can we can chop it up on that also.
All right, man. Anthony, tell the people where they get in contact with you, bro.
You can contact us at crescentaddiction.com. You can contact us at info@crescentaddiction.com. Also, you can contact me at 504-360-4000. And we also have an Instagram page, which is Crescent Addiction.
Mr. Prince.
It will be Instagram at t.j_Prince. And on Facebook, Terrence Prince, TERRENCE, last name Prince.
All right, man. And of course, you guys know, contact me on my Facebook, Ron Rich or Ron Richardson. You can also find me on Instagram. Just search for Ronald_Richardson_Jr. or Ronnie_Richardson_Jr. on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok and Lemon, all under the same name. You can find me all over. And I just got recently introduced to Substack. So you can find me at Ronald_Richardson_Jr. on Substack. There you can find my writings and my post about mental health. And we'll be right back after this. We got to go to our first break. This is Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com and also on YouTube. See you in a second, New Orleans. Peace.
I see how they been.
Missed a show? Want to hear that guest everyone's talking about? WBOK is now streaming on all your favorite podcast apps. Just search WBOK Media, hit download, share with a friend, and don't forget to rate your favorite shows 5 stars. Because when our voices are heard, our impact grows.
Hey guys, if you know like I do, finding the right company for home improvements can be a pain in the you-know-what. If this is something that you can relate to, you need to contact my friend Reginald Simmons at Domingos Home Improvements. Domingos offers many services such as electrical repairs, kitchen and bathroom upgrades, wood and fence installation, and so much more to get your home back in tip-top shape. For a free quote, you can call 504-914-0491. You can also find Reginald on Facebook at Reginald Simmons Jr. or on Instagram at Call Me Ghost. Home improvements done the right way. Just call Domingos Home Improvement. Or on Instagram at call_me_ghost 7583. Call_me_ghost 7583. Hey family, Ron Richardson here, host of Conversations with Ron Richardson. If you're looking for quality catering and barbecue, you need to contact my friends at Kuzan's Catering and Barbecue Team. Mr. Eddie Bunch and Kuzan's have been serving the West Bank since 2013 with their quality selection of barbecue and seafood. If you're looking for quality catering, be sure to contact Kuzan's Catering, located at 618 Westwood Drive in Marrero, or you can go to kuzansonline.com for more information for all the services that they offer, or call 504-233-4227. Catering done the right way just for you. That's Kuzan's, baby.
New Orleans, you want to know what we're talking about? Tune in every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on WBOK for Conversations with Ron Richardson. The topics will always be hot and the conversation will be all the way live. Meet us there. We'll save you a seat. We can also talk about you and your business as a sponsor of Conversations with Ron Richardson. Contact Ron at 504-874-4584 or email him at richardsonronald024@gmail.com for more details.
In a world full of content, standing out is everything, and that is where Mr. Byron Headley comes into play. If you need professional photography, cinematic video, or scroll-stopping video, it is time to give Byron Shoots in Motion a call so he can bring your vision to life, frame by frame. For more information, you can call Byron Headley at 346-365-4379. That's 346-365-4379, or follow him on Instagram at Byron_shoots_in_-motion. Byron_shoots_in_-motion. Byron Shoots in Motion. Capture with purpose, delivered in motion. Cerebral palsy is not a disease, and is not something that gets worse over time. It is a neurological condition that affects movement, muscle tone, and coordination, caused by damage to the brain, often before or during birth. I am here to let you know that cerebral palsy does not define intelligence, potential, or personality. It looks different in every individual. Some people walk independently, some use mobility aids, some communicate verbally, others use technology or alternative methods. What people face with cerebral palsy isn't just about the physical challenges. It is about the misunderstandings and barriers that society places upon them. This is Ron Richardson with Redefining Ability.
Are you looking for the next burlesque sensation? Searching for some prime entertainment on a Sunday night? Well, come down to the Always Lounge as Scarlett Letta presents Show Me Your Noobs. You'll see the finest new entertainers performing burlesque, drag, and a variety of acts that will tease, titillate, and delight you. We are here every third Sunday of the month. Come catch the most raved about show in New Orleans that no one has ever heard of until now. Show Me Your Noobs. It's the perfect night out, whether you're a burlesque regular or sharing your first time with us. Show Me Your Noobs will leave you breathless.
For more information on Show Me Your Noobs, go to thealwayslounge.net.
WBOK online at WBOK1230.com. It's the place where we can be open and honest about real life issues. You're listening to Conversations with Ron Richardson, live on WBOK and online at WBOK1230.com.
Welcome back. This is Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com. Remember, guys, you can follow me on social networking. Just search for the Ron Rich or Ron Richardson Facebook page. You can also find me on Instagram at Ronald_Richardson_Jr. on Instagram. You can also find me on my secondary Instagram page, Ronnie_Richardson_Jr. on Instagram. You can find out everything you need to know that's going on in my world concerning radio, my writings, and things of that nature. And I'm also on Substack at Ronald_Richardson_Jr. and Lemon and TikTok. All my social media network handles. And we are back, man, talking about mental health with my main man, Mr. Jerry Smith. Mr. Smith, how you doing over there, my brother?
I'm awesome, man. I'm awesome. Having a great time, bro.
All right. And we have two very special guests, man, my brothers who I love dearly, Mr. Terrence Prince.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Anthony
Tom.
I had to think for a minute there, man. Funny story behind that, man. We have two Anthonys in our neighborhood, and on a past radio show that I did with Anthony, I called you by the wrong last name, but you gave me a hard time with it while I was on the air too.
I mean, you like family. We've been knowing each other 30 years, and it kind of hurt my feelings. You didn't know my
And
name.
you know what? I'm going to share that other story that happened years ago between me and you. And I didn't talk to you for a long time after that.
Take it easy on me.
It's all love, man. But nonetheless, we're talking about mental health. We're talking to Mr. Jerry Smith, author, entrepreneur, and author of the book Rest, Reset, Rise. And we were talking during the break, talking about how to just handle everything, talking about, what steps a person can take to get the rest that they need. So why don't you expound on that thought? Can you hear me?
No, I can't. I didn't hear you.
Let's see what's going on. How about now?
That's good.
All right. So we were talking about, the book, Rest, Reset, Rise. We were talking about how one can reset and what steps they can take to
Build better habits, you talked about?
better habits. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, first of all, there's a difference between willpower and habits. People get that confused. So you wake
Break that
up,
down for us.
Yeah, sir. You wake up in the morning and you say, "Man, I'm not gonna eat that cake." Right? That Monday morning, you're good. I can do it. My mental capacity for that willpower there is good.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you haven't developed a space by which you've built that muscle for building that habit to stay away from things like that. So willpower is it's like a baby habit. It's not like brushing your teeth to a certain degree. Been brushing your teeth forever. That's a habit.
Right.
But to say I'm not going to eat that cake, or for myself, I'm not going to eat out today, when that's just killing my budget. I know it is, but it's a hell of a habit.
Right.
It's a drug for me to eat out.
Right.
So habits, man, you form those gracefully, right? You one step at a time. Don't try to jump into 10 miles. Do 2 miles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pat yourself on the back. It's all about showing yourself some grace. I think that's what we lose in this whole mental health saga, because there's no grace for what we do. And as you build in those habits, you develop a way that it's going to make you a better person, because habits really don't care if they destroy you or they make you whole. So that's just the way habits look at it. So it's all about, as I've written about it in chapter 7, it's all about giving yourself that grace. It's all about making sure you understand there's a difference between the willpower and having and making those habits. You want to make sure you have something that's going to stick, because that's the only way you can make the change. That's the only way you can rise into that next level. And so it's all about forming the habits in a way that you're not fooling yourself by thinking that willpower is doing for you. So it's showing yourself grace at the end of the day.
One of the things that I want to touch on, you brought up an interesting point, about habits, and I wanted to add to that. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy. We have a tendency to put so much pressure on ourselves to complete these tasks. And I'm talking to, my men out here. As men, we are required to do so much when it comes to the family. We are required to provide, and but nobody ever takes that time out to ask us, "Are we okay?
How you doing?"
Right,
Exactly.
right. And you just get into this habit of, well, I got to do it. Nobody else is going to do it. I got to do it. And it's like we don't have an outlet. So, Jerry, what are your thoughts on that, about an outlet and just trying to keep everything an even kill for men?
Yeah, absolutely. So outlets, man, is as I spoke about, every other Wednesday we get together as men, and we just chop it up about what's real in our lives, man. That's very important, because once you get into a point where you just in your own universe with this, it's going to chop at you pretty hard, man. And we're not built to be that way. We are built to have partnerships and to be around folks to have conversations with. That's the way we built. But as we talked about, and before we came into this segment, we talked about, you're not supposed to cry as a man. You're not supposed to do this. You're supposed to be tough. You're supposed to be X, Y, Z. And I think that has made us, given us the opportunity to want to be solo about stuff. And so you have to meet. You have to get together. You have to be into the fact that you can let your guard down enough to experience somebody else's opinions about you, right? And it's not going to always be good. Constructive criticism is some things that we need to make us better men, right? So we need to hear the truth. So, and you're going to get that truth, in my opinion, when you deal with people that are elevating, people that are you're not as smart as. You need to be around people that are like-minded, but it's going to push you to the next level. When you're the smartest person in the room, that's when it's time for you to leave that room.
Exactly. What are some of the biggest misconceptions about high-performing professionals, when it comes to mental health and the different things that they deal with? You think? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's arrogance sometimes, man. High performance guys, 6 figures and above, they have a different concept about life sometimes. Certain things can't touch them in the sense of the word, but I think it's that they're embarrassed to a certain degree, right? I mean, you live in a certain lifestyle, you're doing certain things, but now for me to break down in this moment and try to express to somebody that I am actually stuck in that moment, I'm failing right there. I can't really bring that to that particular person because I'm above that. So we get stuck and we get embarrassed and we can't find our way. And I think that's what happens to high performance people. They're being stroked a lot. Man, you this, girl, you that. You drive this, you do. So in those moments, man, they get lost, and they get lost in that frenzy of they get lost in that frenzy, man. I was about to say something political, and I didn't want to leave that alone. But yeah, man.
We can touch on it just a tad.
Yeah, huh?
Touch on it just a tad, ruffle some feathers.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, they get Trumpy, man. You know what I'm saying? So So and that's kind of what happened.
I'm not touching that one, brother.
Oh, my bad.
But it's all good.
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
because
Yeah, but anyway,
it's
that's how I feel about
yeah,
it.
I mean, it's the truth. The current, political climate is very narcissistic,
Yes.
in my opinion. And if anybody has a problem with that, well, so be it. But it is what it is. And you deal with that in a lot of high profile businesses, and it takes a toll on you. Terrence was with us before we came on air, and you work a pretty high profile job yourself, and by you being so young, I know you've experienced a lot of backlash for your position, and you holding that position. So why don't you touch on some of your experiences as well?
So from my experience, people will try to make you feel like you don't belong. And it could mess with your mental to make you feel as if you're not enough. So you try to mask it to fit in. And I feel like that's something as men and as individuals that we deal with. That's part of our vulnerability, but we may not understand exactly what that is. So you try to dress yourself up probably with flashy things that may be appealing to others. And like Brother Jerry said, you're going through something. Other people don't know that, but you don't want that to be expressed. You want to be
right.
I may not be a 6-figure person, but I can dress flashy and this and that. The priorities may be different, but I'm only doing this just to fit in.
Right. It's a facade.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a big facade.
I think we all have experienced that either once or twice in our lives.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
You can take it back to childhood. I think we all tried to fit in with that certain group because we were all trying to find ourselves and try to find where we were comfortable. Yeah.
Another thing is, and I think you all can agree with me on this, coming up, you were afraid to be different. Mm-hmm. The different person always either got picked on, teased, or no one wanted to be around you. But now that you've grown into your adulthood and you realize different is,
we should have been that kid.
Yeah, different is the flex.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Difference is what you're unique. There's nothing wrong with being unique at all. You bring something different to the table.
Right.
And now when people leave that childhood mentality behind, they'll actually see that, okay, they may not say it amongst a group, but they may pull you to the side, and now all of a sudden you have a friend now who they're battling with something, but they see that you're living in your truth.
Right. To put the spotlight on me for a second, and Anthony knows this because he's been knowing me, the longest of the time. I never talked about my disability. Close friends, high school classmates like you, but I never publicly talked about it. I would always try to avoid and, try to come up with an excuse about why I did the things that I did. And, my grandmother passed, and I just started opening up about it. I went to Facebook and, of all things, and I just started saying that I want to talk about this. And I didn't think that I would get the response that I did because, it's the fear of what people might think or how people might feel about the information that you're putting out there. But I take it back to your book, Rest, Reset, and Rise. It was a reset for me because once I put that information out there, the first time in my life, at that particular point in time, I felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders, and I didn't have to hide anymore. Short, quick story on me and Terrence. When I met Terrence and a couple of other brothers that we knew or know now, I didn't know how you guys would react to me having a disability. And I think it's always going to be something that's in me because I'm so conditioned to deal with the negative side. But the radio show and me being an advocate helps with all of it. It helps me to reset. It helps me to say, hey, I need to go this way. You know, that path didn't work before, so let's go this way. And I just want to thank you, brother, for, being there since we met and
No
just,
problem,
just
man.
having my back as far as whatever goes on.
No problem.
So what would you guys tell anyone who is trying to reset their mind and try to regroup with any of the situations that they're dealing with?
Well, for me, man, first of all, you got to love you, right? People don't. You'll be surprised how many people just don't love themselves. They look in the mirror and it's like, man, I'm not even happy with this cat, right? Or this young lady. And once we wrestle with that, in that reset, in that rest area, that wrestle it's a deep wrestle, man. Because you're being judged a lot, and I firmly believe that if you're serious about who you are, if you're serious about the direction you want to go in, and you put yourself in a space where you can give that understanding to somebody in a mentor type situation, it can put you in a better moment. But the first thing has to be you, and you said it earlier, man. You got to be true to yourself. That's number one. After that, the reset comes. Nothing's easy, you know.
Of course.
We always have relapses, but Les Miles said it one time, man. If you fall down, fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up, right? So that's the key to this whole thing we're doing with Rest, Reset, and Rise, you know. So to answer your question, though, brother, you got to have self-care. You got to know who you are, whose you are. You got to be ready to face this demanding world because it's coming at you in so many directions now. Like you said, with internet and all these things, and people are doing things on internet and stuff like that. It makes some people upset, mad. I'm not going on this vacation. I'm not doing. They get lost in the shuffle. But if you don't know who you are, you're gonna always get lost. You know, you gotta learn to shut stuff off, shut stuff down, man. But at the end of the day, Ron, you gotta know who you are, man. You just that's the way it starts. You gotta know who you are, and that's the weight of rest. That's for me. That's chapter one. And if you ever get a chance to pick the book up, man, that's where it starts at. The weight of rest.
Yeah. And we've talked a lot about business and the different things that we do because we all work in different fields. So, Jerry, what do you feel an organization can do as far as valuing, or a business can do as far as valuing mental health? How do you feel that organizations and places of work can do a better job as far as mental health?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, man.
I got you.
First of all, I think it's just recognizing that there's an issue with mental health, right? So, I mean, there are community opportunities that when I was in corporate anyway, that we had community outreaches. You know, we go to certain areas that, hey, we having this situation, this is going on. We want to partner up with, we can go to my brother organization. He's in the neighborhood. Hey, this is what we're doing. Invite him over. We want you to come in on a Saturday morning. We want you to talk to our folks and, get them involved with what he's doing.
Right.
And it's about just community outreach, churches, always an opportunity to get involved with that, with churches. But I think that's the route I would go, man. I would just be out in the community. I honestly, and I say this emphatically, man, I don't know nobody in this world that don't have a mental health something. We may not confess to that,
right,
but that's what it is, man. I just think, it's all about outreach, though. It's all about outreach.
I mean, we're all dealing with something at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
We're all dealing with something. We all have, certain things that, kind of tie us down. And,
Absolutely.
We're all struggling trying to get up. And that's why I always promote, and this is why I always promote this on the show. What we're doing today, for 4 brothers just talking about the issues that we've dealt with as far as mental health. The message is going to help somebody.
It's going to impact somebody.
It's
Right.
going to impact somebody. So you know what? Hold that thought because we got to go to our second break, all right? Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com and also on YouTube. Hit us up. Drop us a line, 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. You can also shoot me an email at richardsonronald024@gmail.com if you have any suggestions for the show or show topics. And I heard a laugh. I don't know what Anthony's laughing at. Did I miss something? Y'all mic was on, man. All right, so you know what? We'll be right back after this. I got to go see what's going on with these fellas, man. WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com and also on YouTube. We'll be right back after this. Stay tuned.
New Orleans, are you ready for a voice that says what you're thinking? Who that, you might ask? Arrington Gavin. That's right, I'm your guy, host of the Arrington Gavin Show, giving you so much filled with bold opinions, real conversations, and zero sugarcoating. We're going to be diving into the issues that matter, politics, pop culture, and all the above, unfiltered and unafraid. Catch the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Fridays, right here on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Ron Richardson here. If you are like me, that means you love the feeling of getting a fresh haircut and shave. If you do, then you should check out my friends Eddie and Dana Bunch at First Impressions Barber and Beauty Salon, specializing in hairstyles for men, women, and children. If you want to make a good first impression, you should check out First Impressions Barber and Beauty Salon located at 618 Westwood Drive in Marrero or call 504-341-6777. Remember, it's never too late to make that first impression at First Impressions Barber and Beauty Salon.
New Orleans, you want to know what we're talking about? Tune in every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on WBOK for Conversations with Ron Richardson. The topics will always be hot and the conversation will be all the way live. Meet us there. We'll save you a seat. We can also talk about you and your business as a sponsor of Conversations with Ron Richardson. Contact Ron at 504-874-4584 or email him at richardsonronald024@gmail.com for more details.
Are you looking for the next burlesque sensation? Searching for some prime entertainment on a Sunday night? Well, come down to the Always Lounge as Scarlett Letta presents Show Me Your Noobs. You'll see the finest new entertainers performing burlesque, drag, and a variety of acts that will tease, titillate, and delight you. We're here every third Sunday of the month. Come catch the most raved about show in New Orleans that no one has ever heard of until now. Show Me Your Noobs. It's the perfect night out, whether you're a burlesque regular or sharing your first time with us. Show Me Your Noobs will leave you breathless.
For more information on Show Me Your Noobs, go to thealwayslounge.net.
Hey guys, if you know like I do, finding the right company for home improvements can be a pain in the you-know-what. If this is something that you can relate to, you need to contact my friend Reginald Simmons at Domingos Home Improvements. Domingos offers many services such as electrical repairs, kitchen and bathroom upgrades, wood and fence installation, and so much more to get your home back in tip-top shape. For a free quote, you can call 504-914-0491. You can also find Reginald on Facebook at Reginald Simmons Jr. or on Instagram at Call Me Ghost. Home improvements done the right way. Just call Domingos Home Improvement or on Instagram at call_me_ghost 7583. Call_me_ghost 7583. Cerebral palsy is not a disease and is not something that gets worse over time. It is a neurological condition that affects movement, muscle tone, and coordination, caused by damage to the brain, often before or during birth. I am here to let you know that cerebral palsy does not define intelligence, potential, or personality. It looks different in every individual. Some people walk independently, some use mobility aids, some communicate verbally, others use technology or alternative methods. What people face with cerebral palsy isn't just about the physical challenges. It is about the misunderstandings and barriers that society places upon them. This is Ron Richardson with Redefining Ability. In a world full of content, standing out is everything, and that is where Mr. Byron Headley comes into play. If you need professional photography, cinematic video, or scroll-stopping video, it is time to give Byron Shoots in Motion a call so he can bring your vision to life, frame by frame. For more information, you can call Byron Headley at 346-365-4379. That's 346-365-4379. Or follow him on Instagram at Byron_shoots_in_dash motion. Byron_shoots_in_dash motion. Byron Shoots in Motion. Captured with purpose, delivered in motion.
Hey, Pontchartrain Park. Thanks for listening to WBOK.
Thanks for listening to Conversations with Ron Richardson, live on WBOK, and listen online at WBOK1230.com. Now, back to Ron.
Welcome back. Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com and also on YouTube. I want to give a special shout out to my sponsor, Mr. Reginald Simmons over at Domingos Home Improvement and Simmons Lawn Care. For a free quote, you can call 504-914-0491. Great guy, man. Does amazing work. And also, Anthony, he's also a classmate of ours from L.W. Higgins. Pop.
Matter of fact, his dad is actually my plumber.
Yeah. Okay.
Big Reginald.
Yeah, man. Good dude. So shouts out to Domingos Home Improvements and Simmons Lawn Care. But we have a caller for Mr. Jerry Smith. This man's name is Mr. Will Turner. Will, how you doing, man?
How y'all doing this morning? Great talk.
All right. So what was your question for Mr. Jerry?
So my question, not only for Mr. Jerry, for everyone there.
Okay.
My question is, as we as men work on our mental health and our capacity to absorb life as it goes, right? Mm-hmm. How can we perhaps reach out to our younger adults, our younger males, our males that are now going through life and don't have a certain direction? I know there's mentorships and things of that nature, but what would you advise us to tell young adults to kind of bring them along in the fold? And I'll hang up and listen.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the question, man. Very good question. So, the first thing I would suggest, though, man, is that, once again, we have to reach out in a way that we're not fearful, right? We got names for these young guys now these days, man, that there's no respect on their names, right? Mm-hmm. We have to learn to speak life into these kids. Mm-hmm. And until we can do that, it's going to be difficult. But my biggest suggestion is, it could be the person that you see in your neighborhood of that age group you're talking about. You have to bring him along, and he could bring other people along. So they're going to respect more of people that are like them in order to come into that fold with you, I promise you. But you just can't be afraid of touching that one, because it takes that one kid to bring in the other kids, because that's what we're doing right now every other Wednesday where we at. We're starting to bring on the younger kids and let them lead the meetings that we're going to be having and understand where they're coming from, because you got to listen, though, because they're going to come at you with things that you just may not be ready for.
Right.
And you got to find out how to help them with those things. It could be legal stuff. It could be things that you may be afraid of. But as an adult, you don't have to get involved in the physical sense, but you can guide them in directions to get people that do that particular work to help save that kid. So that's how I would try to bring that along.
To piggyback off of what you said, Jerry, it's all about meeting that kid where they are. You're the generation ahead of the three of us here, but I can remember a time, and I sound like a broken record, but I can remember a time where we were meant to be seen and not heard. We didn't have that availability, or we didn't have that right to speak or express ourselves. Our parents, and I think I could speak for the three young men here, including myself, it was all about survival. You weren't allowed to not be okay. Look, I got you in the best school. You eat every day. You got clothes on your back. So you have no right to express yourself about how you feel. You should just take what I'm giving you, and I'll bless you with. And not to down our families, because we love our families, but like I said, it was all about survival. But I will say that it caused a lot of us to harbor and hang on to different thoughts that we were having, different feelings, and it cause some of us to be emotionally unavailable. Terrence, you look like you want to say something.
How we doing there, Mr. Will?
Yeah, Will, you still there? I think he hung up.
He said he's gonna hang up.
He hung up.
Okay, so
What are your thoughts, man?
my thoughts on that, piggybacking off what you and Jerry stated, when we meet these kids, we have to meet them where they are.
Yeah.
Right.
And what I mean by that is, yes, we want them to, we may have a vision of how we want them to be, but we have to come down as teachers in that moment and remember that we probably was in that position before. And we have to be able to try to have that kid comfortable enough to be vulnerable and open up to us as we open up to them. Because think about it, you'll only open up to someone if you're not going to just do it out the gate.
No.
If they're sharing something personal with you, it'll make you feel a little bit better to, to be personable with them. So I feel like that's one of the biggest things that the youth's missing.
Right. All right, man. So you know what? That's the music. So we got to tighten this one up. I'll see y'all next time around, all right? Quickly, man, words of encouragement, starting with the man of the hour, Mr. Jerry Smith, quickly.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me today. I hate to be a redundant guy. The number one thing, though, is you got to love yourself. You got to be kind to yourself. You gotta push yourself forward to make you the best person you can be, because that's where the catalyst is. You can show up and show out, but you need that rest. Right. So that's the key.
Radio newcomer, Mr. Terrence Prince, man.
Yes, sir.
Last words.
I would say that remember that you are enough. Just as you have thoughts that people may be negative, you have a community of people that will support you and be positive.
All right. Last but not least.
I have two things. Always remember to give yourself some time to yourself a day, at least 15 to 20 minutes. And last but not least, remember life is a marathon, not a race. Life is a marathon, not a race. Remember that.
All right, man. This has been Conversations with Ryan Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com. I will see you guys same time, same place, same bad channel next week with more great topics. And remember, healing and recovery start with you. I love you, New Orleans. Peace and love.
WBOK online and